Hello there, this is DBT, and these are the Vrooms. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt 9 in the global version on Android, and today we're gonna be waving goodbye to the season festive sparks. Now, by the time this video is actually coming out, the season already ended, but you can see that I'm recording this literally 3 hours and a half before this whole thing ends, and there's a good reason for me to do this. It has to do with my amount of credits that you see right now, because that's gonna be important, because I'm gonna be unlocking my 150th, however you said that, 150th card. And what is that gonna be? Well, it's not the Veneno that you saw over here, because I already have it, though we're gonna be driving this later. No, it's about the Ultima RS, and holy moly, has this been a challenge. Now, to give you a little bit of context, in case you don't know what this is about, this is a very unique type of hunt in which you would be able to unlock this car fully gold, straight up golden, Class S car for free. That's right. And nothing was needed other than, well, grinding the event, unlocking, getting all the blueprints that you could from each one of the stages, and then grinding for the specs. Now, the peculiarity about this event is the fact that it was to get the blueprints, but also the amount of credits were increasing based on which stage you were doing. So for example, if we compare stage, let's say stage 4, and we check how many credits we would get in each one of these packs, the amount of blueprints would always be the same. But over here we would get 8 or 4,000, either one of those two. But in a later stage, for example, the very last one, when you already have the car at 6 stars, those rewards would be higher. In fact, you would get epic import parts instead of blueprints, since you already have it at 6 stars, and then the credits were pretty high. So I spent the better part of I don't know how many days grinding this, because if you manage to get the car, all of the blueprints and all of the epic import parts, and you upgrade the car all the way up, you can just unlock the key. Now if we go over here, that's where you can see that the required rank of 4644 is literally the maximum rank of this car. So you literally need to have it at gold, which normally would be a very difficult thing to do. But like I said, this particular hunt was, you could get all the blueprints, you could get all of the epic import parts. So what's the problem? Well, upgrading it, because this car from 0 to hero costs almost 43 million credits. That's the price of a Class S car, fully upgrading a Class S car. It's a lot of credits, and let me tell you, I did not have that. So I've been grinding the living crap out of this thing in order to get it. But you can see that I'm not at that amount of credit. So what's the deal with that? Well, that actually has to do with the fact that I already upgraded the top speed, because I wanted to just double check the prices for everything. So if we go over here, you will see that the top speed is fully upgraded. Everything applied, we're at level 13, and everything has been applied, including the 4 epic import parts. So all that is left for me to do is continue upgrading this thing. And the amount of credits that I have right now is just enough for me to finish upgrading these things. How about we do that? You can see that acceleration, I have it at 7 out of 13. Handling and nitro, very low or not at all. So let's spend some credits, because I really want to upgrade this thing. And by the way, just like the season itself, this event is gonna end very soon, in some hours. In fact, where does it say? Over there, in 3 hours. So yes, I gotta do this now or I lose my chance. Now, people did complain about this event that, oh my god, it's game loft, it's a ploy for you to watch ads and this and that. And I say, yes, of course it was. But you know what? Honestly, grindy, absolutely horrendously grindy as this was, I think this is the very first time that Gameloft straight up gives you a Class S car, not a bad one at that, actually a pretty decent one from what I understand, Class S car at gold, without actually having to spend a single cent. Because, yeah, I mean, you could do this entire thing. In fact, there's a peculiarity about this. You can see that I have 15 tickets, because I do have the, what's it called? The TLE pass or the event pass or whatever. But that doesn't affect at all this car hunt, because only maybe getting more tickets. But it doesn't affect it in the sense that, oh, look at that. I managed to get 138 epics. Yes, I'm gonna sell some of those. Other than these tickets, the event hunt, excuse me, the event pass does not affect this specific hunt, because it's not a regular car hunt. So you can see over here, okay, here we go, I made it there. You can see over here that once you do the race, you get 2 packs by beating this time and whatever, which is actually pretty easy. But this is the natural amount of packs that you would get. By getting the event pass, you don't get the extra, what is it called? The extra packs from this. I was hoping it would. Instead of giving me 4, it would be 4, so 8 packs in total. But no, it doesn't affect that at all. So, well, again, you could, if you had a somewhat decent amount of credits, you can definitely do this whole thing without spending a single cent. And like I said, to me, that is an absolute, I don't even know what to call it. Such a rare sight for Gameloft to be basically straight up giving a Class S car like this. It's really strange. That's why I was like, you know what? I have to do it. In spite of the fact that I had some health issues, of which I have talked in videos released earlier this week, I did find time to be doing, at least in the most basic form, the races to grind as many credits, because I knew that the problem was not going to be getting the blueprints or getting the epic import parts. It was clear to me that that was going to be doable. The problem was the credits, and that's why I basically grinded until I really got tired of grinding this thing. And that is why that's why I'm recording this so late in the season, because only now I've managed to get all the credits that I needed. So yeah, you can see how quickly these credits go away when you're upgrading a car like this. I mean, granted, you're really not expected to upgrade a car from 0 to hero normally, so this is a very unique situation, but still, I wasn't going to lose it on the opportunity of getting a gold Class S car. I was not going. So yes, that's why, well, I am doing all of this, and guess what? That is a gold Ultima RS. And what do I need in order to get the key? I just need to beat the time of 52 seconds, and if I do 3 perfect runs, I get a little bit more of this, which I do want, but I'm not gonna do all 3 races right now. No, so how about we unlock my 150th car? However, I'm gonna put it in my favorite color for this car, which is in orange, because there's a peculiarity about this car. When you have it in orange, this, what are they called, louvers, I think, are painted black. Any other color that you select for this one doesn't have them painted. So yeah, I normally like orange cars, and the fact that it adds the additional accent color, well, I like it. And it was important for me to get this car in this version of the game, because as I've explained a bunch of times, this version of the game I don't play that much. Lately I did, obviously, because I was grinding this, and because, you know, the Lamborghini and the Legend Pass and all of that stuff. But for the most part, I don't play this version of the game too much. And while I do have some Class S cars, for example, I do have the Chiron, I have the Regera, and I'm talking obviously the performant Class S cars that I have at 6 stars, or even if it was a little lower, like 4 or 5 stars, but only those I really have. So being able to get also the Ultima and at gold was such a huge deal, because honestly, in this version of the game, I don't know that I'm really ever gonna be getting many Class S cars. So the moment that I could get one in particular, gold, for free, yes, count me in. So yeah, I had to grind seriously in order to get this thing, but this is under 50 seconds, so that means that I get a key. Do I not? Oh, look, I did do the 3 perfect runs. Oh my god, it paid off. Seriously, the grind has been absolutely mind-boggling. And like I said, I know that a lot of people were like, oh my god, this is so ridiculously grindy. It is. But again, it's such a unique opportunity that, much like in rare car hunts for cars that are really good, for example, with the Aston Martin Victor, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it, because it's a good car. And good cars are not easy to find in a free way in this game. So, it's mine. Oh, car 150. It's a straight up golden Class S car. Oh yeah. Now, I want to make a video driving this thing in multiplayer and all of that, but honestly, this is not the right moment to do so, because this is not the only topic that I wanted to talk about in this video. The other ones I'll go a little bit faster, but still, I wanted to talk about what else has been happening, specifically with the special events. The Pininfarina Battista event, I made 0 progress. I could have made some progress, for sure. But the reality is that I just did not have the time. Again, all of my tickets were being used in that car hunt, and before that, I just got lazy and never did it. So do I lose on some stuff by not doing this event? Yeah, I'm probably gonna lose on some currencies and whatnot, but it's nothing too crazy. I don't think there's anything too insane that I'm gonna be missing out by not doing this special event. I don't really believe that I'm gonna be able, for example, to unlock the Battista itself. And even if I did, it's not at 1 star, maybe 2 stars if I get really lucky. So that's not gonna be useful. In fact, real quick, I want to show you what I was talking about on my Class S. Even though I have 150 cars, well, let's be fair. What are the good cars in Class S? Where do they begin? Well, from what I have, you can see I don't have anything too fancy. I have the Terzo Millennium, but we know that's not an amazing car. We have the Vision, a 3-star only. Oh, the Spitzel, of course I do have the Spitzel, but that I also have to upgrade. So that's definitely gonna help. The Regera is gonna help. Now my Ultima RS and my Chiron. But other than that, I have nothing at all. So normally, because the only cars that I had were precisely the Regera, but not upgraded, and the Chiron, not upgraded, I really never have much of a reason to play in once I get to Legend League, because I don't have cars in Class S to play, at least not upgraded. Now I'm gonna have a total of 4 6-star car, one of which is gonna be gold. So that's like 12 races that I can play in Legend League in one sitting. So now I'll have more of a reason to play there. And that was my whole point in this, getting some decent amount of cars. Because again, remember that I normally don't buy the Legend Pass, so I never have the extra fuel. So if I only had the Chiron at whatever, let's say that I have it at gold, but I only have three fuel, well, it's 3 races and that's that. I can't play anymore. But if I have the Chiron and the Regera, well, now that's gonna be 3 and 3, so that's 6 races that I can do. Oh, but with the Speedtail, that make it 9, and now I have all the way to 12 races that I can do. So that's kind of dope. And again, a gold card, Jesus, I have so few golden cards in this version of the game that this is why I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lose my opportunity. Now, what else is happening? The Torino Design Super Sports, no progress. I made no progress. I don't have all the cars that are required. I do have some of them, but again, it's the same situation. I just, am I gonna miss something on the Revuelto stages? Or the Revuelto epics or something? And if there are, I don't know, would it be worth to go for them? I mean, I could always spend some tokens in... No, actually, no, you know what? There's only stuff for the Torino. I could always spend some tokens and refilling the tickets, but I don't see anything in particular that is going to be super good about this. So really don't care too much. Now, the one last thing that I want to talk about is the Draft Syndicate, because it's time to say goodbye to it. Now, normally I am super skeptical with Draft Syndicates. I don't like them. I find them extremely grindy, and they still are. But I was lucky enough that in this particular Draft Syndicate, I made a lot of progress. So I got all the way to here. I already had the key, so this didn't matter too much. I made some videos on it. But I definitely made a lot of progress, and that was because I already had the Lamborghini Diablo and the Reventon at a decent star count. So that meant that I did not have to spend a ton of the Syndicate coins in order to upgrade them, which makes the whole thing super, super boring. Now you can see that right now, I'm actually having the visual glitch where some letters aren't showing, but okay. I have 7,000 of the Draft Syndicate coins. Now, as it stands right now, all of the Syndicate coins that I have acquired have been going to my Reventon Roadster, which I already have at 4 stars, and obviously I would like to take it to 5 star, but it's kind of difficult. In the store, the 10-pack costs 25,000, and obviously, again, I only have 7,000. However, that's why I wanted to make a video on this, because I want to drive the car, the Devel 16, a little bit before it goes away. Obviously, I was nowhere near to unlock the Devel 16, but I did leave the first pin missions without doing them. And these are the fun ones, because I get to drive the Devel 16 at gold, I suppose. Yeah. So how about we drive it a little bit, try to get some of my Draft Syndicate coins and spend them on buying my last pack that I can get for the Reventon Roadster. So this entire season was not terrible for me. First, it was a longer season. This was a 6-week season, which was very surprising to me. And again, also the fact that we got 5 fuel in this season as opposed to... You know what? I'm not a... Alright, I don't care if I lose all of the coins. I just want to see how fast I can make this car go. Because again, I'm not gonna be able to drive this car at gold ever again, probably, or at least for another year or something like that. So I just want to see if I can ever get this car to its top speed, because when I got to drive it also in other Syndicate stages, it's like, yep, nope, Nope, I don't understand what the top speed of this thing is because I just can't get to it. And kind of funny because recently I also made... Oh god, that's terrible. Man, I can't control this car. The drift is crazy. But I very recently made a video on the Devel 16 in Asphalt 8 because that car is on sale. Now that's not this exact same car. Oh god, that's horrible. I just can't control this car. Man, that's... Wow. And so there's a sale for that car in Asphalt 8. It's the prototype version, so it doesn't look at all like this one. I mean, a little bit similar. You can see the DNA being from the same car, but it looks very, very different. I still prefer the Asphalt 8 version because it has a ginormous wing, though this one looks a bit fancy. I don't know. And I still got some coins in spite of the fact that I wasn't actually trying to get them. I just wanted to drive the car a little bit. Alright, got to another one of these races. I'm gonna do exactly the same, just try to get to a decent top speed and see what I can do with this car. But seriously, I find it very difficult to control this type of cars. I talked about this not too long ago in a video that I did on the Switch version of the game, where I was driving the Bugatti Bolide, and I was saying how surprisingly on the Switch version of the game, I find this type of cars, the super high performance car, considerably easier to drive than here in the global version. I don't know if it's because of the controller or what, but over here I just can't do it. I end up hitting the walls often and my drift goes a little bit crazy and whatnot. On the Switch I drive better, and that's not just a matter of the fact that this car is insane. The Bolide is also kind of crazy, and when I drove it here in the global version it was a pain in the rear, and once I drove it on the Switch it's like, oh no, that's surprisingly comfortable. Alright, so I'm not gonna take the high jump here in this section, though. Oh my god, see what I'm saying about this drift? It's ridiculous. Maybe I should have gone for the car, but anyway. So let me use the shockwave right here on a straight line. Can I get to top speed? 556. Oh, finally I've seen the top speed on this car. Jesus, seriously, it may have great acceleration and whatnot, but it's still a very difficult top speed to hit. So, hey, that's kind of cool. And I know that there were, well, I'm not gonna say a lot of people, but maybe because I was paying more attention to this rap syndicate, I did see some people on the YouTube sphere that they unlocked this car and managed to unlock it at high stars, if not straight up. I don't know if they golden it or not, but I have absolutely no idea how much money it would cost to have unlocked this car. Probably a bunch of money. Though I did see someone saying that they quote unquote only had to spend like $120, and some people were like, only? Only? You're saying you spent $120 in this game and you call that only? But I understand what whoever that was meant with that, because $120 for Asphalt 9 in one of the absolute top performer cars, if not straight up the king of the game, yeah, that's actually not terrible. Not that I would do it, because I'm not invested in this game in such a way. But no, I understand. Given that, from what I remember, or at least from what I had heard in previous rap syndicates, normally unlocking a car would be a matter of several $100s, and straight up upgrading it or 6-starring it or maybe even golding it, it was more in the thousands of dollars. So I don't know. Who knows? Probably whoever did that had a very good garage and was able to, you know, do a bunch of the stages, but hey, whatever, it's fine. And I keep getting some coins in spite of the fact that, as you can see, I'm not doing anything in particular to try to keep them. I guess this car is just that quick, huh? But anyway, so like I was saying, this entire season was interesting simply for the Lambo focus on it. As I mentioned, that to me this was a mini Lambo season in a way. The fact that I was able to make some progress without having to suffer too much in the draft syndicates, it wasn't as grindy as it would be normally, because again, I had some of the cars at considerably high stars. So yeah, I don't know, this was a relatively good season for me. That's why I went premium. It's unfortunate that I didn't get to record as many races as I wanted in the multiplayer series, because again, I got sick, and I had to get sick when I had the most fuel for the cars. Of course, that's just my luck. But hey, here's hoping that this new season is also gonna be a good one, where hopefully it's gonna be a somewhat long one, and we're gonna get a lot of fuel. Because again, I did make a point to mention that I think this is the first season, at least that I have seen, but I could be right saying that this is the very first season in which we got a total of +5 fuel in the Legend Pass. Normally one would get a total of +4 fuel. This one had +5, and that was crazy. And by the way, yeah, normally the money runs or whatever these are called, I should be focusing more in knocking down cars and whatnot. But because this one doesn't cost any hazard or whatever it's called, like the fuel system or ticket system rather, that's why I can do them freely without having to worry. So here we go. But yeah, it's definitely been an interesting season, and I'm looking forward for the next one. And speaking of seasons ending and beginning, if you're gonna get a heart and a pin, you need to leave me the key phrase in the comments, which for today is going to be: one season ends, new season begins. Let's get that Lambo. First person to post that gets the heart, the pin, and everyone else that posted afterwards only gets a heart because I can only do one season. But oh good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next season for me to 5-star my my Invencible. So yeah, absolute Lambo focus in the next one, and hopefully there's also going to be some good events and whatnot. Again, it was really surprising to me that we got this hunt for for the Ultima RS. Now, if they were to give some more cars like that, I wouldn't mind, even if it's extremely grindy. Again, as in a free-to-play game, the question is, do you want to spend money or do you want to grind? So I think that considering that, grinding is not such a bad thing to do. But here I'm gonna ask you, how did this entire season go? What did you manage to acquire in this season? Did you unlock anything fancy? Anything interesting? I don't know. I'm really curious about that. And actually, by the time I'm recording this, Gameloft already announced that the very next car hunt, I guess the very first car hunt for the new season, is going to be that of the Glickenhaus 004, whatever it's called, the one in Class D, which is, to this point, I believe, one of the kings of Class D. Not that that matters too much, because when do you really get to use those type of cars? But still, a car hunt for that, not bad. Though, it really is a key hunt, because that is a Grand Prix car. That's actually how I unlocked it. And that means that you're going to have to max star the car to unlock it. But unlike the Ultima RS hunt that I just finished, you need to have the car at max stars, you need to have it at gold, and you don't need to upgrade it. So that's kind of cool, because even if you don't have the credits, you can still do it. And this whole thing, by the way, with the credits and all, has taught me a valuable lesson that I have known for a long time in Asphalt dates, but for some reason I never really applied it. Well, it's a bit more difficult to do over here. Always having a bit of a cushion of credits in the game, because you never know when you're gonna need them. And I really doubt that there's gonna be another hunt like this one for the Ultima RS. Ooh, there we go. We just got enough. So basically, I did not finish the very first one over here. I only missed a little bit. But this other one I just finished, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't think there's gonna be another car hunt like that of the Ultima RS, but hey, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a bunch of credits around just in case. So this is the very last thing that I can do for this season. Well, I guess I could also spend some money in, because there's an offer. No, actually, you know what? The offer is gone, so that's even better, because there's no temptation. There was an offer around here to get 4 epic import parts for the Diablo, for I think like $10 or something like that, but I just didn't want to do it. I have 4 epics for the Diablo, which is enough to 50% gold it, and I don't think I'm gonna need to straight up gold the car, so it's fine. And there we go, I got some additional 4 blueprints for the Reventon Roadster, and given that these packs tend to be very bad, 4 blueprints is not bad. Now I'm a little bit under halfway to get to my last star on the Reventon Roadster, and with that I have officially finished the Festive Spark season. It was an interesting season, a lot of good rewards. It was definitely kind of on the cool side. Oh, no. Wait, there's one last thing that I gotta do. Hold on. Actually, 2. Let's not forget that by having unlocked the Ultima RS, now I can also get some tokens and some seasonal tokens, because now I own the car. Well, it would be easier if I just go over here. Oh, it was right there. Now that I have the Ultima RS, I can get, I think it's like 200 tokens. How about we do that? All right. I won my tokens, and I won my seasonal tokens too, because with those tokens, I'm gonna be able to afford another 10 pack. So yes, nope. And regular tokens, they're always useful. Like I said, probably these tokens that I'm gonna be getting from this are less than the amount of tokens that I had. They're definitely less than the amount of tokens I had to spend on refills in order to get this car. But again, seriously, it's just It's just unbelievable to me, and I criticize Gameloft, the Asphalt 9 Gameloft, so much because of the monetization tactics in the game and how expensive a lot of things are and whatnot, how grindy the game is and whatever. But for once they went seriously. I'm not gonna straight up say super giving in the sense that, you know, this still required a lot of work in order to get, but again, it's a card that you could get straight up for free. I spent tokens because, you know, I had to do the refills and whatnot, but like I said, if you had a decent amount of credits already saved up, you didn't really need to spend a single cent in order to unlock this card. Nothing. Just a lot of races to get all the, what is it, like 250 blueprints or however many is needed in order to take the card to 6 stars. But seriously, other than that, yeah, look at that. 200 tokens. Let's go, bye. Ooh, yes. What can I say? I got used to watching ads in order to get these multipliers. I discovered in that hunt for the Ultima RS that the multipliers to get the ×3 credits is no good, but when you get the ×6 or ×12, those are the ones that are worth it. But anyway, also I need to do this one because again I can get a decent amount of what are these? Seasonal tokens. I always forget the name, but who cares what they're called because they're going away. Finally, seasonal tokens are going away. That is another thing that I absolutely gotta hand it to Gameloft, the fact that they listened to the fact that people hated these seasonal tokens. And I know that not everybody hated them. For example, some of the packs that you could buy for seasonal tokens actually seem to have better drop rates than the ones for credits. Whether that was just placebo or whatever, it felt that way. But yeah, I understand that some people did not hate them. In fact, some people liked them. But honestly, it was a really bit of a prickly move to introduce them because they created this currency that would time out. So it's like, hey, spend it all or it's going to waste. And while you could still get tokens, obviously the amount of tokens that you could get in general was reduced because they made space now for the seasonal tokens, and that means that you couldn't save as many tokens as before. So anyway, now that this thing is going, I hope that is a good sign for the game and it's not going to be the case of what has happened in similar situations where Gameloft ends up removing a feature because, you know, it kind of stepped on the way of another feature, and once they remove that one feature, the other one still remains nerfed. So maybe we're just gonna lose these seasonal tokens and we're not gonna be able to get the tokens that we would get normally instead. I don't know. Whatever. The point is that for now, I have some additional resources to do my last purchase with the seasonal tokens before they go away. I could literally just keep them there and they would turn into regular tokens. But no, I could buy, for example, there's these packs for the Festive Spark season, which has the Veneno blueprints. But honestly, more often than not, when I have bought these packs, I only get blueprints for the Elba and the Peugeot SR1. I don't care for the Elba and the Peugeot, it's nothing of interest to me. Then there's also packs for the Revuelto, which I already bought. I already have the car at 6 stars. I made a video on that earlier. I could buy some blueprints for the Mercedes-Benz, this one, the Class C one, which is a beautiful car, but honestly, I'm not super interested on it. So even though I know that eventually I'm gonna be able to max start this car in the next season, I'm just gonna spend the last 10,000 in buying one of these packs and see how many blueprints I can get because, hey, it's a Lambo. So how many blueprints I got? Ooh, 9 blueprints from it. So this puts me at my 4th start on this car, and as soon as the next season begins, in theory, I should be able to take this car to 5 stars, max stars, so that's gonna be kind of dope. But I don't have the credits to upgrade it, but such is life. And this legit, I believe, is the very last thing that I could do. Oh no, there's one last thing that I gotta do before this ends. Yeah, I need to look at my import parts because there's a certain car for which I got a lot of epic importers. Look at this. So obviously I don't need them anymore because I already have the car at gold. So goodbye to all of them, and that's gonna give me another 22,000 of this stuff. That's kind of cool. And while we're here, might as well get rid of some of the. Oh, Jesus Christ! Why does this not scroll as I want? I might as well get rid of some of this stuff because, hey, you know, hey. Now, since I don't upgrade a ton of cars, I'm just gonna keep about 150. So how much is this? 188, I think. Yeah, I think that would leave me with 150. Yes. So I'm gonna make sure that of those that I have too many, I'm just gonna keep 150. So be right back. There we go. All right, so basically I kept everything to 150, which is a lot, honestly. It's way more, obviously less in this one, less because I didn't have more than that, but it's much more than I'm going to need in a season or in a couple seasons. I don't know in how many seasons. And I also kept 200 of the common ones simply because, you know, they're needed to upgrading cars, but these are much easier to get. So this is much more than I'm actually going to need anytime soon, but I still like to keep a little bit of those. And since I'm still gonna get the Legend Pass for the next season, because of course the Lambo and all of that stuff, I'm still gonna get a bunch more parts, so that's all right. I can live with that. But yeah, that basically closes it. Long video, but again, it's me waving goodbye to this season, which was not terrible. Again, a 6-week season is not as good as the 8-week seasons that we used to have, but hey, it's better than the 4-week seasons. Oh Jesus, so many times saying the word season. But all right, if you enjoyed this video, then you know what to do. Hit the like button, all of that good stuff. And also check these other videos that I made on Asphalt 9, either in this or in the Switch version because it's fun. But all right, that's all. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next. Take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.